Good morning. It has been 72 hours since my first can of sardines, but Dr. Boz says you have to end the 72 hours with a can of sardines. So I'm not free yet. But like I said on my video yesterday, I'm going to make the bacon wrapped sardines for my last sardine meal that Anita showed on one of her videos. So I am going to wrap up these sardines. I'm going to just use the Seasons brand in olive oil, boneless, skinless. I have my pan heating up, and I am going to be using bacon fat to fry these in. So here it is. I put some sugar-free barbecue sauce here on the side, which does not go with sardines, but honestly, I'm trying to just pretend like there are no sardines in here and this is just a bacon wrapped something else. I'm afraid this challenge may have ruined sardines for me. I thought I liked them fine before, but after doing this, I feel like I don't like them anymore. But I'm gonna see how many of these I can get through, and then I will be free. All right, taste test. The bacon is very pleasant. Still get the sardine taste on the back end, which my stomach does not like, but I'm gonna try to at least eat 2 of these, and then we're gonna call it good. I'm gonna be done. What are you doing, Bubba? You waiting for some sardines? I ate a little bit more than 2, and I'm done. So Bubba, you can have the rest of this. There you go. I have a second cup of coffee for the morning, same with MCT oil powder. I am going to attempt to not eat until I am actually hungry, and not just eat because I want something different. There is something I'm really excited to try though, a new release of a flavor of keto chow that just came out today. And I am going to try it as soon as I get hungry, and I'm just going to be like waiting until I get hungry, which may take a while because sardines are so stinking filling. So we shall see, but I'm going to enjoy my coffee for now and throw the ball for the dogs. Hey.
Hi.
How was your trip?
Good.
Where did you go?
To Idaho.
To Idaho? Had you ever been to Idaho before?
No.
What was it like?
Just like at the hotel.
Oh, the hotel?
And bowling.
You went bowling? Was that cool?
Yeah. And I only got 1 strike.
1 strike? That's amazing.
Everyone else got some strikes.
Yeah, but it was your first time, so that's good for your first time.
Mm-hmm.
So it is about 2 p.m. now, and I'm going to go ahead and mix up my keto chow. Birthday cake is the new flavor. I'm super excited to try it. I like birthday cake flavored things. You don't have to be a kid to like birthday cake flavored things. So I'm gonna mix this up, and I thought I would show you my favorite way to mix up keto chow currently. So I make this in my Vitamix, and I will do either 1 or 2 ounces of butter depending on how much fat I want. I think this time I'll just do 2 because I want it just to taste as good as possible, because it's the first thing I've eaten besides something with sardines for 3 days. And I could use the extra calories after being so low calorie for the last 3 days. I also am probably not going to drink this whole thing myself because Renee definitely wants to try it. So I will be sharing. The next thing I add is 4 ounces of hot water. It doesn't have to be boiling. It just has to be pretty warm, warm enough to melt the butter. That's just over 4 ounces. And I know adding hot water to plastic is not great. I would like to get one of the stainless steel Vitamix containers at some point soon, but they're just very expensive and I have not done it yet. So I'm gonna just start blending this a little bit. I'm gonna get that butter off the side, because sometimes if you don't get it in the hot water and get it melted, then it won't blend in once I add the ice. I'm gonna get it going just on low, and then I'm gonna add in my keto chow. Okay. And And then I have 10 ounces of ice, and I'm just gonna throw that in and slowly increase the speed until it's on high speed and until everything is incorporated, and it's gonna give me like a milkshake texture. Oh my gosh, I just opened the lid and I got this like major whiff of birthday cake. It totally smells like birthday cake. All it needs is like brightly colored sprinkles on top and it'd be perfect. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's almost like soft serve. It's just above soft serve. Totally wish I had like whipped cream and sprinkles to put on top. I do have sprinkles, but they're not keto sprinkles, so I'm gonna abstain. But that would just like be the icing on the cake. Oh my gosh, that's so hilarious. I think with this flavor, doing the butter with it is gonna be like enhance it even more, because I mean, butter is a major flavor in birthday cake and in good frosting. So definitely recommend that. All right, I'm gonna taste it on here. Oh my gosh. How does it taste like frosting? All right, official taste test. And maybe this is not a fair taste test because it just came off of the sardine 72 hours. So anything is gonna taste flippin' amazing at this point, but here we go anyway. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So, as far as desserts go, I think cheesecake is probably my favorite dessert, but I really love just cake with frosting. Chocolate cake, birthday, white cake with, sprinkles. Like, I love cake. I love frosting. And this, like, captures the flavor. It is phenomenal. I mean, legitimately, I think this might be a contender for my new favorite flavor. My favorite flavor has been raspberry cheesecake. Although I really think that the different flavors, I can't just pick a favorite because like fruity flavors versus chocolate flavors, I mean, they're so different. You kind of have to have a favorite for the different categories. Oh, but man, this is so good. It's so good. I want to drink this whole thing, but I know that Renee wants to try some. I don't know what magic Keto Chow wields to be able to make this flavor in here. They just nailed it completely. This is the best thing I've tasted in 4 days. Probably longer than that too, actually. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so Renee's birthday is in how long?
Probably like 26 days.
So a little over 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. So we're saying that the birthday Keto Chow came out just in time for her birthday. You ready to taste it?
Yeah.
All right, go for it, girl.
That tastes really good.
Yeah?
Really like that.
It's very buttery, huh?
Yeah. Does it put butter in it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I smelled butter like in the packet before I put it, because that's like a really major component of birthday cake, I think. So how many thumbs up do you give it?
I think it's 10 thumbs up.
10 thumbs up.
It's a tie with pistachio.
Is pistachio your current favorite?
Yeah.
Before this?
Well,
Because you keep
they're
changing
a
your
tie.
favorites.
They're a tie. Well, I still think pistachio is really good.
Pistachio and birthday cake tied. So
Chai
you like
latte.
chai latte a little bit less than the birthday cake and the pistachio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this, with Keto Chow, it's like with anything. You go through phases where you're like, I'm really into this flavor for a while, and then you kind of get bored of it, and you move on, and you find something else, and you're really into that flavor for a little while. So, but man, I don't see how I could get bored of this. It is so, like, legitimately delicious. It is so good. Need some more. The butter. The butter. I just mixed up my second pack of electrolytes for the day. I wanted to have grapefruit, but I'm trying really hard not to just use those up so fast. So I'm having raspberry. And a lot of times I'll only have one packet of element in a day, but since I've been sick and doing the sardine fast, I have been doubling up at least, and some days I've actually had 3. I just felt like I needed more, probably with the less food and then being under the weather. So this is number 2 for the day. I am getting ready for dinner. I have some big New York strip steaks. I'm going to cook 2 in my Dreo chef maker. I will use the probe, and as always, I will use the sous vide setting. You can get the most perfect medium rare because you use the probe and it cooks it to the exact temperature. And then, like in chef mode, it will bump up the heat and then do the sear on it. And I don't even have to do anything. Like, I just put it in and press the button, and it's as simple as like an Instant Pot, but you get like a restaurant quality steak. I just love it. I am going to top these or coat these with this Wagyu beef tallow. This was gifted to me via Amazon by a subscriber, which was so incredibly sweet. I talked about it on my live stream, and then magically it ended up at my mailbox, which was so sweet. I'm just gonna paint it on here. That just gives an extra level of browning to the steak. And I did a real simple seasoning. I did just Chef's Blend smoked salt and black pepper. I am going to flip these and do the other side too. I already seasoned the other side, but they need the tallow on the other side. Okay, heading over to the oops, actually I forgot to put the probe end. This has a little probe end here, and you just stick it in like that. And then these little connectors connect when you close the drawer. So the chef maker has earned a permanent place on my appliance shelf over here. I had to like move another air fryer away, and this is now permanently installed in my kitchen because I use it every day basically. Chef mode, we want to do beef. We're gonna go down to New York strip. I already put the water in the reservoir in the top. I have it in the grilling rack. Got the probe in there, rubbed it with the tallow. We're all good on that. Medium rare. Why would you cook it any other way unless it was rare? But sadly, rare is not an option. And then I'm going to do the sous vide flavor. It takes longer, but it is so worth it. And there we go. Water is in there, calculating time. So for a side dish for my steak, I'm going to have some of these carnivore mashed potatoes from Chris Cooking Nashville. I did a video review on that recipe and ended up making 2 batches of the recipe. And then of course the last 3 days I have not been eating them because I've been eating sardines. So I really need to use these. So I thought it would be yummy to do some garlic parmesan potatoes. And so I have some granulated garlic. I'm going to add extra of that in there because there's already a little bit in the recipe. And then also some Parmesan cheese. And he says to reheat them like 30 seconds at a time and then stir after each 30 seconds. So I'm going to see how that works out. Steak is almost done. I reheated some of the potatoes. They actually reheated really, really well. And I think the texture might be even a little bit better than when they were first fresh. I also threw together a little slaw, just really simple, some mayo, some apple cider vinegar. Let's see, I threw in some garlic, and I guess it was just parsley and some green onion. I just felt like I needed something fresh like this. It sounded so good. I am actually super, super hungry right now. Like, the hunger has hit me. I think after eating lunch that wasn't sardines, I was like, okay, my body is really ready to eat. Like, I'm realizing that I've only eaten 1,000 calories for 3 days in a row, and I need to make up for it. So I am really excited about this meal. I also added some allulose to this to make it a little bit sweet, like coleslaw is supposed to be. It is in the browning phase, got 5 minutes left. There it is, or there they are. I will probably only eat part of one, but I am gonna let myself eat as much as I want. Finished. Ooh, those look good. All right, here's what the center looks like. I love how pink it is. There's just hardly any gray around the edges. Ugh, and it's so juicy because it has that water thing that injects water as it's cooking so it doesn't get dried out. I think I'm gonna put about 8 ounces on my plate, but I will come back for more if I need more. And if that's too much, I won't eat it. Oh, I had one more thing I was gonna add onto my steak, blue cheese. This is seriously a feast. Okay, now I'm ready to eat. I am so ready to eat. That steak is so good. It's like melting. Melting. That sous vide setting is really, really magical. Oh, it's so good. But it's so much easier than the actual sous vide. I just throw it in, just like an air fryer, and I forget about it. I missed food that tasted good. Goodness, nothing like a sardine fast to make you really appreciate the flavors of other food. All right, let me give a taste test to this garlic parmesan potatoes. Smells amazing with the extra garlic and the extra parmesan. Could use a little bit more salt, but other than that, it's good. I think it's like, let's see, with a bite of steak, I think it'll be perfect. One thing about these potatoes, they're incredibly filling. So like when I first got a serving, I was like getting a serving like I would get of a mashed potato. And you find very fast that you can't eat these the same as mashed potatoes. They're, you know, they're fat and protein and they fill you up very fast. So we'll see how much of these I get through. These cats have gotten used to leftovers. Freddie is a little more eager to eat the fat off of the steak than she was to eat the sardine last night. What does that tell you? Is that yummy, Freddie? Is that a popsicle? Is that just a popsicle? I told you, these are super filling, and you cannot eat as much as you think, as much as you used to eat of mashed potatoes, or at least I can't. So I ate everything else, but I'm going to save that for later. But Freddie says it sounds pretty good too. She might try some. Did you want to try some potatoes? You're a carnivore. All right. Freddie likes them more than the kids did. That's a good review. How many thumbs up, Freddie? How many thumbs up? I felt like I wanted a little something else, something a little desserty. And I also was lower on my protein than I wanted to be because I wanted to really focus on high protein today. So I mixed up some Greek yogurt with some prime protein chocolate. And it's the Faye 2% Greek yogurt and 1 scoop of the chocolate prime protein. It's a beef protein powder that I love and I use all the time. Oh, I also wanted to address, I've gotten some questions about if I'm still doing the El Roterai and the other different yogurt strains from Dr. Davis, like I talked about quite a few months ago now. I have been using them more sporadically than I would like and than I should. And I need to get back to doing them regularly. It's just something, once I get out of the habit, it's hard to keep it up, but it's so delicious. I don't know why it's so hard for me to not be in the habit of it. I also was doing the lean days there for a while, and those were lower fat, so the half and half yogurt doesn't really work with that. And also, I was cutting out dairy on those days, trying to go lower dairy. So I was having more trouble fitting it in to my life at that point, but I really do want to get it in every day somehow. So I'm going to be working on that. And hopefully you'll be seeing more of that in my What I Eat in a Day videos soon. Let's first go over my ketones for the day. This is just a photo of my ketones, and I'm going to try to kind of point to things so that you guys can see what happened at different times. I was very happy to see that I really stayed steady with my ketones. They didn't just automatically drop off as soon as I ate something different besides the sardines. I have noticed that in the morning, like when I'm drinking my coffee, I will get a bump in ketones, and I tried to figure out if it was just the coffee itself or it was like the time of the day. And I'm leaning towards the idea that it's just the time of the day, and you kind of have the dawn phenomenon with your blood sugar, like and the cortisol rise right when you wake up. And so ketones dip, blood sugar rises a little bit, and then you kind of get past that. And I found that at that point, my ketones would jump up a little bit. And I did see that here. If I could, this is not as easy as I hoped. Just that little bump right there was during drinking my coffee. And I think it was just my cortisol coming back down from waking up, and then the dawn phenomenon just kind of going away. And then it kind of went down after that. But you'll see this other little hump over here. That is after I drank my keto chow. So I was running at about 1.0. And after I drank my keto chow, my ketones started rising and got up to 1.4. So that was really cool to see. I don't know all of the reasons for it. I wonder if it was the big load of butter in there, or just the fact that keto chow lives up to its name. It is a very keto friendly meal replacement shake, and I definitely found that to be the case with me. So after my keto chow jump there, it went back down a little bit and stayed around that 1.0 for a while. And then I ate my dinner somewhere around here, and that is when I started seeing ketones drop off. And I was totally expecting this. I know that with high amounts of protein, ketones are going to go down. And I talked about this in my recap video. So if you want to know my thoughts on the benefits of high ketones versus the benefits of high protein, check out that video. But I totally expected it. I knew this meal, it was a very big meal, and it had a lot of protein in it. And I did see my ketones drop off down to as low as, I think, 0.2, but then somewhere between 0.2 and 0.5. And then I will throw in here that they did come back up the next morning, because it is the next morning now as I'm recording this. I will have more of that info for, this day on the next video, because I am doing another What I Eat in a Day video and following along with the ketones and blood sugar. So I will have more info on that, but I'll just throw in here that even though it did go down from the big meal of a lot of protein, it did end up going back up the next morning. It didn't stay down at what my baseline was before the sardine fast, because before I'd stay at that 0.2 to 0.5 basically all the time. So I was really happy to see that it did come back up the next day. Now over to my calories and macros for the day. I came in at 2,020 calories yesterday. I got 148.5 grams of protein. That was 29.8% of my calories. And I almost got a 1-to-1 ratio of fat to protein, which I tend to get without even trying a lot of times. I got 145.7 grams of fat, and that was 65.8% of my calories. Then I got 21.8 total carbs, or 15 net carbs for the day. And lastly, this is a peek at my blood sugar for the day using my NutriSense app. You can see I got an average blood sugar for the day of 78, which is very good for me. Even though I ate off the sardine fast, lunch and dinner, I still was able to maintain a pretty good average. You can see there at the end of the day with my dinner and my dessert, my blood sugar started to go up just a little bit. It went up to 96, which is still not very high for me. And really, when my blood sugar is running kind of in its normal range, that's within the normal range. So I feel like it was kind of just going back up to normal when I have a higher amount of protein in my diet. So it's definitely not something I'm concerned about, but it was interesting to see how as soon as I had that protein, the blood sugar started to trend upward like that. If anyone is curious about how keto-friendly keto chow really is, you can see I got a score of 10 with my blood sugar on the keto chow, started with a blood sugar of 80, peaked at 82, and 2 hours later I was at that 82. So for me, especially with that amount of butter in there, super blood sugar friendly for me. So I will have a link down in the description for SciBio, which is the continuous ketone monitor I'm using. I will also have a link to NutriSense, which is the CGM program that I use. They facilitate helping people get CGMs if they don't have a doctor prescribing one. They also have a really, really great app that you can see here that's very intuitive and has all kinds of information that you can glean from your blood sugar numbers. They also have like nutritionists and dietitians on staff that can walk you through the different things that your blood sugar is doing. So if you don't understand all of this, they have people that can really hold your hand and help you like do different tests and different things like that. NutriSense does give me a little bit of a kickback anytime someone clicks that link in the description and enters their email address for more information. You don't even have to make a purchase for me to get that kickback. So if you want a free and easy way to support my channel, that's a super, super simple way to do it. But if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine with me as well. I just appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will be back again tomorrow with another one. All right, do you see up there what Jeff just added? They are climbing ropes. The kids have been swinging on them like they're Tarzan. They love it. Were you swinging?
Yeah.
On the Tarzan swing? The Tarzan rope?
Yeah.
There they are. He just got those logs up here today, and he's going to put some fill dirt in and then some wood chips down at the bottom. And we got some climbing ropes. The potty tree, as always. It is getting overgrown over here. Oh. It's been too long since I've been up here. That's a little better.